That's some good filler. Greetings, geeks and geekerellas. It is me, I am back for another episode of Doom Patrol. Now, as my pre-intro alluded to, this is mostly a filler episode, honestly. But that isn't always a bad thing. I mean, case in point, just look at Legends of Tomorrow, especially Season 3, where they have a lot of filler episodes, but they're fun filler episodes. And is this one a fun filler episode? If you hadn't seen it already, now's your spoiler warning. Go watch it, then come back and tell me what you think in the comments down below. Now that we're in the spoiler section, I actually did enjoy this. Now, this episode was called Therapy Patrol, and it stuck to its name. The team decides that with Mr. Nobody messing with them, and the fact that their mental stuff is coming to a head, they need to sit down and have some therapy. Well, they don't really want to do it, and through this episode we find out each person, and we find out a little bit more of their backstory. We follow their story, and we get a little bit more of each of their backstories. Not much is changed by the end, but just enough for a good filler episode. We have Rita, who's probably one of the biggest ones of the episode. And Rita is just in that transitional phase where she doesn't like being Rita Farr, but if she isn't Rita Farr, then that kind of messes with her whole mental grab on her not becoming blobby. So she, through the therapy, works out to see who Rita Farr is, and I got a feeling by the end of this we're going to find out what Rita Farr's real name is, and she's going to start being her, because we find out that Rita Farr is a stage name, and we find out that she's been doing this ever since she was a kid. So she's kind of like, well, no, not kind of like, she is the child of a pageant mom, who the child went on to do what the mom wanted. We actually got a lot of the team's growing up parent lifestyle. Like with Larry, we found out that his parents were very homophobic from a very early age. Especially his mom. His dad was mostly in denial, but his mom was like, "Oh heavens, it is the worst thing ever that our male son likes other men." Yeah, you homophobic a-holes. And basically, Larry's story for the episode is working with the negative man entity to figure out that it's okay to enjoy the sunset, and it's okay to think back on the good memories. and realize that there was some good in the darkness and that it wasn't all bad. And that hopefully he can get to a place where he's not constantly torturing himself. Then we got Vic's story, which is the fact that he realizes that his father had a huger grasp on his life than he thought, but also that maybe that was a good thing. And then we also, with him, he admits to the team that he basically killed his mom. And he's got guilt about it, even though it was a complete accident. And then, also, there might be something more to his history. Because he keeps hinting that there's more. Just he doesn't know if it's his cybernetic half over analyzing things, or his human brain trying to remember something that he can't remember. Which I got a feeling that maybe it didn't go down like he thought, and that maybe the dad accidentally killed the mom. Or maybe even something darker. I don't know. But anyway. We then have Jane's story. Jane's story is we find out that her dad didn't really want her, and that she might have had an a-hole dad who raised her on his own. An a-hole dad who looked a lot like Michael Rooker. I thought it was him for a minute. But anywho, Jane really doesn't go through too much. Her thing is trying to live with her other personalities and maybe get to know them and maybe build a connection with the team. We do have this interesting scene where she's fighting with Hammerhead, and Hammerhead's destroying everything, and Jane's like, no, don't do that. But Hammerhead's like, fuck it all, and Jane's like, no. So they're fighting, and in the end, Hammerhead kind of wins, says some messed up things to Cliff, and then shows her ominous painting that the hang woman made at the end of the second episode after they went inside the donkey. Phrasing. And Cliff is that he's acting weird. We find out that he's hallucinating, that he thinks that he's beaten up his pit crew buddy who's screwing his wife and also raised his daughter. But really he's beating up Cyborg, and he keeps seeing his daughter, but it's really Jane. And I mean that literally this time, not just metaphorically. And Real Cliff shines through and is trying to push for therapy to get down to what is going on with everyone. I forgot to mention it, but another thing about Larry was admitting how lonely he was. That was kind of a common theme between all of them, was that they are together, but they are physically together, but they aren't really together. they're not like friends. They're just people who happen to be in the same place. And I want to see them correct that more. Especially because Cliff really screwed the pooch with Jane, said some messed up things, and caused her to go off. And we find out what's been eating at Cliff this whole entire time. Something has literally been eating at him. A rat. Admiral Whiskers. The team, we find out that in like the first episode, the team accidentally killed a rat with their bus. And the rat had a son, and the son wanted vengeance fueled by Mr. Negative. Mr. Nobody, I mean. And Admiral Whiskers had me laughing so hard I was hurting. I was in tears. I was a hyena. I love that. I am Admiral Whiskers. You killed my mother. Prepare for my revenge. Like I said, this episode was filler, but it was still a very enjoyable episode that had some character growth. And I really did enjoy it. It's not their best, but I still really liked it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Next time you'll see me, Supergirl is on break. So, if I can watch it in time, I might try to watch and review season 1 of Hannah, since I did the pilot this Sunday as a placeholder. But then again, even without that, I still have 5 reviews this week. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time. And beyond. Even when this show is filler, it still goes wackadooey, not so crazy.